Welcome back to the Double Feature, the series where I play two random games in a single video. Yes, we're already doing another one of these videos, even though it's only been like a couple of weeks since we did the last one. But I feel like I have a good reason for turning this video into a double feature, instead of just doing two separate videos on these two games, or the two games that I'll be covering today. So just to provide a bit of context here, about a month ago, I did a video on a game called Warning Forever. And Warning Forever is a shoot 'em up that was developed by Hikware. It was a really neat shoot 'em up where all of the bosses were randomly generated. It was basically like a boss rush shoot 'em up where the only enemies you were fighting in the game were gigantic bosses. But what was really interesting about the game is that each boss essentially learned from the mistakes of the previous boss, if that makes any sense. So for instance, depending on how you killed a boss, or how a boss killed you, the next boss that you fight may prefer to use a certain set of weapons, or they may have more armor on one side of their body. Like if you killed the previous boss from the front, then the next boss that you fight may have armor plating on their front, and same thing if you killed the previous boss from the side or the back. The next boss that you encounter may have armor plating on their side or back. And overall, it was a very frenetic and surprisingly well-made shoot 'em up. I actually really liked it. But I mentioned near the end of that video that Hikware had also developed two other shoot 'em ups known as Cyclops and Reyhound, and I did say that I would eventually get around to doing videos on those two games. I was originally going to do two separate videos on them. I was going to do a separate video for Cyclops and one for Reyhound. However, I decided to change my plans a little bit. And the reason why I changed my plans is because I actually played Cyclops and Reyhound rather extensively off-screen before recording this video, and these two games kind of surprised me, but not in a good way. So it turns out that Cyclops and Reyhound are actually a lot smaller in scope than Warning Forever. Like, compared to Warning Forever, these two games are actually surprisingly simplistic, and it really doesn't seem like there was that much work that was put into these two games compared to Warning Forever. But I still wanted to show these games off to you guys today regardless, because I still think that their general concepts, or like the general idea of these games is actually really neat, I think. Although I'm also going to be extremely frank with you when I say that these games are kind of underwhelming, or at least I found that they were. So because of that, I am going to try and make this video as short and sweet as I possibly can. I am not going to spend probably any time at all with these games today. And not only that, I wanted to make this video today just to let you guys know that I am still alive. I know it's been like 2 weeks since I uploaded the Feed the Head video, which is the last video I did before I just, like, disappeared from the internet again for a while, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm still alive, I'm fine. I've just been living my life, pretty much. Like, I've just been trying to avoid social media for the past 2 weeks for the most part. Just trying to take time for myself again, like I sometimes do occasionally, because my entire life doesn't revolve around YouTube, like I do have a life outside of YouTube. But I just wanted to throw this quick video out here just to let you guys know that I am in fact still alive. I will be coming back to making videos a little more often, pretty soon. Uploads will return to a slightly more consistent schedule by the end of the month. There's definitely some games that I would like to show off to you guys. I have a few ideas in mind, like a few video ideas in mind, I mean. And I mean, this is a video idea right here that I've been planning out for like the past month. And it's also a video idea that I actually mentioned in a previous video, so I figured that, you know what, let's just get it out finally. Alright, so with that being said, let's talk about Cyclops first. So, Cyclops originally came out in 2007, and it's a pretty interesting shoot 'em up where you don't actually move at all, or you actually cannot move. So, the premise of this game is that you are controlling a giant turret. Your turret stays in the center of the screen at all times, and basically what you gotta do is that you have to defend the center. There's a barrage of enemies that fly towards you, you use your giant laser, like, it is basically a laser turret, you fire lasers at enemies, And there's a specific number of enemies you need to kill on each screen in order to progress to the next level, and the amount of enemies that you have to kill gradually increases with each level. And that's pretty much the entire gameplay of Cyclops right then and there. Just like Warning Forever, there's no upgrades to grab, nothing that makes you considerably stronger, although there are some mirrors that pass by occasionally that you can ricochet your laser off of, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, it's a fairly simple shoot 'em up, a lot more simple than Warning Forever. So I am gonna start here and just show you what exactly is happening. So we go to the first stage right here. So the first thing you're gonna notice here is that there's actually no music or sound effects in Cyclops whatsoever. And I mean, there was no music in Warning Forever, but there were actual sound effects. So, yeah, there's just like a very eerie silence in this game. Like, there's no music, no sound effects at all. Yeah, there's one of the mirrors right there, actually, so you can actually, like... Yeah, you can do like really interesting looking trick shots like that, where you can bounce your laser off of the mirror in order to hit enemies that are on the other side of you. And there's not that much variety in the enemy types either. You have these green ships that come at you from time to time. They do fire bullets at you, and at the end of each stage, there's also this giant red ship that comes after you. Those red ships usually take a few more hits to kill, but they're not the most difficult to get rid of. You'll notice that these green ships are also firing blue bullets at you, but you can actually destroy their bullets with your laser. And you'll notice that you have a shield that gets put up automatically when you're not firing. And something you may have also noticed is that in the top left corner of the screen, you have a power meter. And that power meter shows you the amount of power that your laser has. So all you have to do to activate your laser in this game is left click. You just left click and the laser will fire automatically. And it'll only stop firing once its power meter fully drains. So basically, if you want your laser to last longer, you need to wait until your power meter is fully charged up, and then you can unleash a much longer laser blast, essentially. Now, you need to be careful, because whenever you fire your laser, you'll notice that the shield that you have against your turret, or that's, like, protecting your turret, will go down. You will no longer have a shield, which does leave you vulnerable to enemy attacks, especially if the enemies are coming from behind you, like they are right here. And every single bullet that hits you, because you don't, that's the thing too, you don't die instantly in this game when you do get hit by a bullet. You only have one life in this game. However, in order for the enemies to completely destroy your turret, they need to damage you all the way up to 100%. So you do have a damage percentage in the top right corner of the screen. When that damage percentage gets to 100%, then your turret will explode and that'll be it. It'll be game over for you. Every time you get hit by a bullet, your damage percentage only increases by 1%. However, you'll notice that as we're progressing through the stages here, there's actually more green ships that are spawning all at once. And in the later stages, it can become a little bit overwhelming to try and kill all these enemies all at once, and there's like so many different bullets that are coming at you. So this can become a little bit overwhelming after a while, but what I find so weird about this game is that it seems to be a lot easier than Warning Forever. As a matter of fact, I kind of feel like this game might be a little bit too easy at times, even in some of the later stages. Because most of what this game revolves around is just destroying these ships, and also destroying these like giant green containers that appear from time to time as well, like these circular containers. I don't even know what exactly they are. There's also some asteroids that fly by from time to time, and you cannot destroy these asteroids at all. They basically act as barriers for the ships, so you need to just avoid them at all costs, basically. Yeah, this is kind of what I mean right here. Yeah, and those green containers, if the green containers crash into you, then that does 5% of damage. And every time you complete a stage, it repairs your turret by 10%. So you lose about 10% of that damage percentage. So your turret does get slightly repaired in between stages, which is nice. You do get more points for creating chains as well, kind of like in Warning Forever, so if you destroy a big line of ships all at once, then yeah, you basically get more points for that. The amount of enemies that's remaining in the level can be seen at the bottom left corner of the screen, so there's like 37 enemies that are left right here. Let me try getting, oh my god, yeah, these mirrors can also be a little bit fidgety at times. Something you also need to remember as well is that you can't just let the green ships stay within this parameter for too long, because what will happen is that if you leave the green ships alone, they won't come at you at first, like they won't come directly at you immediately, but after a few seconds, they'll actually go full kamikaze and try to crash into you directly. And when there's a lot of green ships that are spawning on the screen all at once, it can do a lot of damage to you, all at a single time. So the game can definitely become difficult after a while, but it takes quite a while in order for the game to get to that point. I mean, this is kinda, yeah, it is becoming a little bit tricky right here, actually, because, yeah, you have this giant wall of green ships that are coming at you from all directions. This is where the mirrors, yeah, definitely come in handy right there, just like that. The only thing is that I'm pretty sure the mirrors only appear at complete random. I don't think there's a specific pattern to any of the mirrors or even any of the asteroids appearing. I think they all just appear at complete random, so there is kind of an element of luck to this game as well. But yeah, and it also shows you the chain in the top left corner as well, like how big of a chain that you made. Okay, yeah, I got lucky right there because the mirror, like, literally spawned at the edge of the screen. But this is still kind of cool, though, how you can, yeah, you can kind of do stuff like that. I'm getting a little distracted because these containers are just crashing into me. Yeah, then when you have the green ships and the red ships coming at you at once, then yeah, it can get a little overwhelming after a while. But again, like I said, the game takes a little while to get to that point. It does kind of feel like a slow burn. Like, the game does get progressively more difficult over time, but you need to be playing the game for quite a while before it gets to that point, which is not something that I really enjoy necessarily, because like I said, I do feel like this game really isn't that much of a challenge, because it's mostly just like, yeah, just moving your turret around and left-clicking. One thing that does make the turret a little bit more difficult to aim, like when you are firing the laser, is that your turret will rotate a lot slower when you are firing the laser. So that does make it a lot more difficult to try and, like, yeah, to try and put your shield back up when you're getting bombarded with bullets from behind. But just remember, like I said, there is no way to stop your turret firing or to stop your laser firing, like, prematurely. You need to wait until your power meter runs out completely, and then you can put your shield back up, because your shield is only up, or your shield is only protecting your turret when you're not firing, and I don't believe there's any way to stop the turret from firing prematurely before its power meter completely drains. I tried right-clicking to see if maybe that did anything, but it doesn't appear like it does. It doesn't appear like it does, doesn't seem like it does anything, actually, so yeah, you just need to wait for the power meter to drain, which I guess I can understand why the game would have been designed like that, because I guess, you know, if you were able to just stop your laser mid-fire, then it would probably make the game even easier than it already is. So maybe the reason Hikware did that was to try and make the game, like, a little more challenging. Yeah, you see how many ships are coming towards me now. Like, there's not a lot of enemy variety in this game at all. There's only, like, green ships and red ships and occasionally those containers that come at you. The mirrors never crash into you because the mirrors deliberately try to avoid you, and actually so do the asteroids, because the asteroids are not even destructible in the slightest, so yeah, you'll see that these bullets don't even get absorbed, they just phase right through me. But yeah, like, that's basically Cyclops for you guys. Like, this is the entire game right here. Again, I do like the concept of this game quite a bit, where you're trying to defend the center of a map. It kind of feels like a tower defense game in that regard, like a shoot-'em-up tower defense game. But, I don't know, man, the execution on this is not, it's not bad, but it's also, like, kind of underwhelming. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I just kind of feel like the game is a little bit too easy, because it's mostly And also a little too simplistic as well, because it's mostly just like left-clicking, moving your mouse around occasionally. Yeah, this can honestly get a little monotonous after a while. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed when I initially played this game off-screen for the first time, and, you know, I was expecting this to be a lot more, like, hectic and frenetic, just like Warning Forever, where I had, like, a ton of bullets coming at me that just completely engulfed the screen and just absolutely overwhelmed me, but man, I was very disappointed by what I did end up playing. Like, I don't even understand why there's no sound effects either. Like, Hikware didn't even bother adding sound effects into this game. It's just so strange. This game is just haunted by, like, so much dead air, if that even makes any sense. Like, it's just weird. It's weird playing this game, seeing all of these explosions happening on the screen, and not having, like, any sound effects whatsoever to back it up. To, like, really give any sort of emphasis on the action that's unfolding here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by this, but again, like, I like the idea of the game a lot, and the general gameplay idea, but man, the execution is definitely nowhere near as good as it was in Warning Forever. Like, Warning Forever was, like, a really great shoot-'em-up. So to see Hikware go from that to this it's a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like there wasn't as much effort put into this one as some of his older projects. But again, that's just my opinion. Like, I do still really love the fact that you can bounce your laser off of that mirror to, like, yeah, to, like, cause your laser to, like, ricochet into all of these enemies and, like, kill, like, 20 or 30 enemies at once. That's still really freaking cool, and it does feel really good when you get, like, a really good, like, trick shot off of that. But everything else about this game is just kinda a little too simplistic for my liking, a little too easy, a little too repetitive. Yeah, I just have conflicting emotions about this one, man, because I like the idea of the gameplay, but I don't really like the way it was executed, if that makes any sense. And these stages will get a lot longer after a while, because of the fact that there's so many more enemies that are gonna be coming your way in some of the later stages. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm really not struggling at all right now with any of these enemy patterns. Even though we're, like, so far into the game already, like, I'm not even sure, like, where exactly we are at in the game right now. I have not been paying attention to the actual stage number here. I do think we've already cleared quite a handful of stages, though. Let's actually see here. Like, let's destroy this last guy right here. There we go, repair damage 10%. Yeah, we're already at stage 17, but you'll notice that the game's not really changing all that much, aside from the amount of enemies that are spawning in and firing bullets at me. Yeah, I can't really say anything more about it. I imagine that this game is probably endless as well, just like Warning Forever. But man, it just feels so much better to play Warning Forever than playing this, because this just gets so frigging repetitive after a while. Because one of the things I like about Warning Forever is the fact that, you know, the bosses get a lot more complex in the later stages. They have, like, much more intricate designs. But in this game, it's just like more green ships come at you in the later stages. It's like the enemies in this game prefer to overwhelm you in numbers. It's like they don't really have any other tactic here. Like, it's just weird, man. It feels so weird going from Warning Forever to this. I mean, I could show you what exactly happens when they try to go kamikaze on you. Yeah, you'll see that they actually do a lot more damage when they start doing that. They'll actually start flashing as well when they start dive bombing towards you. That's one way you can tell that they're about to start coming at you. And by the way, I did die there on purpose because I do believe I am done playing this. So yeah, that's Cyclops. I mean, I already explained the problems that I have with this game. I just feel like it's way too simplistic. I mean, simplicity is not necessarily a bad thing, but it would have been nice if maybe I had, like, more enemy patterns and maybe more enemy types as well, and not just, like, the 2 or 3 enemy types that you get in this game, like green ships and red ships and those like circular ships that come at you too, that just, like, slowly drift towards you. So it probably wasn't the best idea for me to get my hopes up for this game, because I did end up being a bit disappointed by it, not gonna lie. Again, gameplay idea is really neat, I just am not a fan of the way it was executed. I do feel like it was executed kinda poorly, so I would still recommend that you just go and play Warning Forever instead. I do feel like this can get a little bit too... This game in particular can get a little bit too monotonous and repetitive after a while. It's fun to play, like, for the first few minutes, but I do feel like you will get bored of this pretty quickly, and you'll want to go and play something else, something a little more substantial, like Warning Forever. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Cyclops. I'm gonna stop rambling about it now, and I'm gonna go move on to the next game that I would like to show you guys in this video, which is Reyhound. So, let's go play Reyhound. Right, so this other game that I would like to show you is called Reyhound. Now, unfortunately, this is also another game that I was a little bit underwhelmed by, but I do feel like this game is actually somewhat better than Cyclops. In fact, I think I'm actually a lot more intrigued by the general concept of this game than Cyclops. So, basically what this game is that, actually I'm gonna go to the options menu here. Yeah, by the way, something else that I don't like about Cyclops, there's no options that you can adjust. There's not even an options menu in Cyclops whatsoever. So one thing that I do like about Reyhound in particular is the fact that it has an options menu, of course, and it also has actual sound effects. Still no music though. But I think the concept for this game in particular is really friggin' cool. So, this is another game where you control a ship, but what's interesting about this game is that your ship can actually not fire on its own. So basically, your ship is equipped with a force field that turns all of the red bullets that are fired from turrets in the level into blue bullets. So the game does kind of have a polarity mechanic similar to Ikaruga. And what's interesting is that when you turn the red bullets blue with your force field, you can then control the trajectory of those bullets with your cursor. So using your cursor, you can actually ricochet the bullets, or redirect the bullets basically, back into the turrets. And in order to complete each level in this game, you need to destroy all of the turrets in the level, and the only way you can do that is by turning the red bullets blue, and then redirecting the bullets back into them. So I'm gonna show you what exactly this looks like right here. I am going to start. There's also a replay system in this game as well, similar to Warning Forever. So you'll see that these turrets are firing at us, and if I press... Yeah, if I left click right here, or if I like press left click on my my trackpad, you'll notice that the bullets are turning blue. So then what I can do is that I can use my cursor. Oh yeah, this ship also moves really fast, so the controls are actually really sensitive in this game. You use your cursor in order to control the ship itself as well, and my god, the controls on this thing are freaking sensitive as hell, man. But yeah, so when you turn the bullets blue, you can control them with your cursor as well. I'm actually making the bullets follow me around, and I just caused that bullet to ricochet into that turret, and it destroyed it. So whenever you get damaged in this game, you lose 10 seconds of time. So this is also another game where you only get a game over when you run at a time, so you do technically have infinite lives. Yeah, look at that, man. This is actually really cool. And what's also really cool too is that you can control multiple bullets at a single time. Like, look at that, man. Look at this. This is freaking neat. Unfortunately, the game is not really that much more substantial, because this is more or less what you do in the entire game. Again, this is another game where you actually have no upgrades whatsoever, and also I just died on the first freaking level. Yeah, I'm just trying to give you guys an idea as to how exactly this game works. You do have invincibility frames when you get hit, though, at the very least. But yeah, look at this, man. So I think the entire point of this game is that you need to try and continue moving around when you are, like, controlling the bullets here. I'm pretty sure that's what the point of this game is. Like, you're supposed to, like, weave in between the red bullets of the turrets while also controlling the blue bullets here as well. But it's very difficult to do so due to the fact that your ship moves so frigging fast, man. And it does, and the bullets do kind of abide by the laws of physics, because you can kind of just, if you keep moving your cursor in a circular fashion, you can kind of just get them to orbit around the turrets, which is not necessarily what you want to do. But yeah, there we go. That's how you actually do it right there. You get a time bonus whenever you complete a stage. So yeah, this is more or less what Reyhound is all about. So you control the turrets, like these, basically turning these red rays into blue ones, and you redirect them back into the turrets that are firing crap at you, basically. It's pretty cool. Like, I really like this as a general concept for a game. I do kind of wish this concept was a little bit more fleshed out, admittedly, because, again, this game is rather simplistic, aside from, yeah, the fact that you can do really cool stuff like this, but, I mean, that's pretty much all you get to do in this game, for the most part. Yeah, and if you run out of time, you just get a game over instantly. Again, this is one of those games where the amount of turrets increases as the stages go on, but the appearance of the stages themselves never changes. And there's literally just one enemy type in this game, which are the turrets. Like, the turrets are the only types of enemies that you will ever encounter at any point in this particular game right here. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, yeah, so these turrets can actually still fire more bullets of their own, even when you steal their bullets and you control them for yourself. Yeah, and when you also get hit by the bullets, that causes you to lose control of the blue ones. Yeah, see, this is not what you want to be doing right here, because you want to be doing that. There we go. And redirect. There we go. Very nice indeed. I was just like standing in front of that guy, he wasn't even firing at me. Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where you need to have really quick reflexes. Yeah, but that is also one thing that I maybe don't really appreciate as much about this game. The fact that the controls are so sensitive. If you want to know how much I'm moving my mouse around right now, yeah, I'm not really using my cursor. I'm actually moving my mouse to control my ship. I should have clarified that earlier. If you want to know how much I'm moving my mouse around right now, I'm actually moving it, like, very little. I'm just, like, slightly nudging it. And look how fast my freaking ship is moving. Like, it's insane. The controls are super sensitive, and I don't really like that. It's a little too sensitive. I like the fact that you get to move around so freaking quickly. Yeah, and also you have this, like, you have this attack right here as well, where you can actually, like, dash into enemies. If you flick your cursor fast enough, you can actually do this, like, yeah, this, like, dash attack right here, which also looks really cool. Oh yeah, and you can ricochet bullets like that as well, actually. Oh, and you can even push the turrets around. I actually didn't know you could do that. Holy crap, I didn't know you could actually do that. Yeah, so I guess there's, in that case, there's more than one tactic that you can use to go about destroying these turrets then. Because I actually didn't know you could do that. You can legit just push the turrets away from you. Like, look at this. Get out of here. Get the frick out of here, man. It doesn't seem like you can destroy them by pushing them up against the boundaries of the walls, though. But you can bounce them around. You can bully them. You can bully them for sure. I did not know you could do that. Like, when I was playing this game off screen, I didn't even, like, think of trying that out. But that is pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, and there's also a little red arrow at the bottom of the screen, or like on certain parts of the screen, showing you where exactly the turrets are located in case you can't find them. Alright, so I guess the game is not actually as simplistic as I was saying before, but like, I do sort of wish the gameplay itself was a little bit more fleshed out than this, but again, it's still a really cool concept. It's a really cool concept for a shoot 'em up. I just wish it was taken a step further, you know what I mean? But still, it's really freaking cool, and I don't really have too much else to say about it. There's also some icons at the bottom left corner at the screen showing you how many turrets there are remaining in the level. So yeah, that's Reyhound for you, and I guess another thing you could do as well. Wow, okay, yeah, just rebounded that right into his face, holy crap. Actually, hang on a minute now. Hang on a minute now. Let me just... Oh god, okay. Well, yeah, the walls also destroy the bullets as well, unfortunately. If you crash into the bullets. Or if the bullets crash into the wall, I mean, that's what I was trying to say. I mean, this game is fairly difficult, I'm not gonna lie, especially when, yeah, when the turrets are huddled up into a corner like that, or into a cluster. Yeah, it does actually get fairly difficult to try and take them out. But the benefit of that is that you get to control more bullets at once, so you cause even more destruction that way. It's pretty cool. I definitely like this game a lot more than Cyclops, for absolute sure. It seems like there was definitely way more effort that was put into this one in particular. The concept of this one right here is actually really freaking cool. Again, I don't feel like the concept was taken to its full potential, or its full potential has been realized, necessarily, but still. It's neat. It's quite a neat concept for a shoot 'em up indeed, so yeah, that's all I really got to say about it. Just weave the bullets in between all the freaking turrets. God, I just wish it was not so difficult to control though. I wish the controls were not so sensitive. I mean, maybe you can control the sensitivity, like, or maybe you can adjust the sensitivity of the controls in the options menu. I mean, I didn't check. I didn't see an option to adjust the sensitivity whatsoever, but I don't know, maybe they were there and I just didn't notice? I'm not entirely sure. This looks so freaking cool. I'm gonna run out of time anyway, but yeah. I think, with that being said though, guys, I think I am pretty much done with this video. That's all I really gotta say about Reyhound. Can I just look at the options very quickly? Well, what is boost adjust? Actually, wait a second. Oh god. Why can I set this really high? Wait, what is boost adjust? I don't actually know what this is. I can set it to 320? What is this gonna look like? Hang on a second. I just want to see this quickly. I don't think this adjusts the sensitivity necessarily, does it? Or does it? Oh my god, wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, I don't exactly know what boost adjust is doing though. Oh, I can move all three of them at once in like a cluster. Actually, can I do this? Can I do the same thing? Oh no, I can actually like separate them. Okay, that's also interesting. I didn't know I could do that either. I don't know what exactly boost adjust is doing though. Is that actually making it more sensitive? I can't tell. Yeah, I don't really know what exactly is going on here. Oh yeah, if I get in between the turrets like this, they don't actually fire at me, which might be a bug, if I had to guess. I'm pretty sure they should be firing at me, but okay, well that's kind of weird. I don't know if there's any way to adjust how much time you have in the game either, just like you could in Warning Forever. I think I am going to kill myself on purpose here, though, because I really am done playing this game now. I really do just want to end this video off. I really don't want to pad the video out further. That's it, guys. Cyclops and Reyhound. Reyhound is definitely a better game. It's absolutely a much better game. I do wish that the whole concept of Reyhound in particular was taken maybe a step further than it actually was, because the game does still feel relatively simplistic, but still, man, there's just something about taking an enemy's bullets and making them your own that's just so gratifying. I don't know what it is, but just controlling, like, taking 10 or 15 enemy bullets at once, turning them into your own bullets, and just having them fly around your ship and then just killing all of the enemy turrets with their own bullets, essentially. There's something that's just so satisfying about that, man. It's really cool. Like, I can definitely see myself coming back to Reyhound in particular, maybe a few times to try and get, like, a high score or whatever, but I definitely cannot see myself doing the same with Cyclops. Cyclops is just way too redundant, I feel, in terms of gameplay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be spending any more time with Cyclops, honestly. But Reyhound's still really cool. It's got a really neat concept. It basically has a polarity mechanic, but it's not quite like the polarity mechanic in Ikaruga, though. Like, Hikware actually decided to take that polarity mechanic and do something unique with it. And the results are actually pretty dang cool. Okay, what about Boost Adjust 10? Yeah, I don't know what this Boost Adjust thing is doing, man. I have no freaking idea. Whatever, the video's done. The video's done. I was going to assume that was some sort of sensitivity option, but I don't really know what exactly it's doing. And I mean, there were some brand new mechanics that I actually just learned about in this video, because I didn't realize you also had this, like, dashing ability. And you could also ricochet bullets like that, too. Yeah, just like that. That's pretty cool. That's so freaking cool. So even though your ship itself doesn't have a method of firing its own bullets, like, you can ram into enemy bullets to turn them blue and redirect them back at them, or you can use a powerful force field to take control of 20 bullets at once and then just fire all of them back. I love it, man. I really love it. I really wish that Hikware did a little bit more with that concept, though. That's the thing, because I feel like that sort of concept has a lot of potential. I really don't feel like its full potential was realized. This is actually just this is just a replay that you're seeing right here, by the way. I think this was a replay from when I was playing this, like, just a few minutes ago, actually. Yeah, look at this, man. Taking, like, so many bullets, just bringing them all back, destroying all the turrets. God, it's such a satisfying feeling. Look at that. Just having them all orbit around you. My god, man, like, Japanese indie developers are so creative. Like, I don't even know how they do it. Yeah, so anyway, I don't even know where exactly I'm going with this video at this point, which probably means I should just end it now. So, if you guys want to download these games and play them for yourselves, I'm still going to provide the links in the description if you want to check them out for yourselves. I'll have the link to Cyclops, and I'll have the link to Reyhound. I definitely recommend that you play Reyhound, though, because Cyclops is a little, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little mediocre. It's just a bit too repetitive, a bit too simplistic, a bit too easy. Reyhound, on the other hand, is definitely more challenging, and I do actually like the game's central conceit a lot more. Like just taking enemy bullets, redirecting them back at them. Pretty cool. Reyhound is definitely the highlight of this video for absolute sure, even though I wouldn't say that it's really all that great either. Because again, I really feel like Hikware could have taken that concept to the next level and turned it from something great to something absolutely amazing, but that's not what ended up happening with this game, unfortunately. But still, it's a really neat concept, and I think you should try it out anyway, if you're at all into shoot-'em-ups. And I mean, I still think you should check out Cyclops anyway, because again, I don't hate the concept of Cyclops, I just don't think it was executed all that well. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me for now. Go check out these games. I will be coming back to making videos a little bit more often, fairly soon. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video I make. Later!